Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Still going. And he will score. Touchdown, Eagles. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Pulls it in at the 13.
I'm ready. Whack it.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go. Alert. On the floor.
They'll go right back to the ground with Falk. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Opposite. Hey, stop. Score.
On 3rd down, Lawrence eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Now a give left side to Falk. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Lawrence will throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Evan Ingram from 17 yards out. And the Eagles marching right down the field on their opening drive to take the early lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Pulls it in at the 13.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 1st and 10, Bledsoe gets this one to Hill. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where
he rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Marco Wilson.
Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Marshall Faulk, 15 yards. And the Eagles have moved out in front. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he returns this to the 22.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
On 3rd down, here's Dillon.
And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. They'll try and throw for it here. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, as this defense cannot come up with a play that they need. In fact, they surrender a big chunk, 17 yards there on 4th down. Looking to throw. Bledsoe. He's got Thomas yet again complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Dillon. It's a room to maneuver. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Dillon, 30 yards. And the Eagles are an extra point away from drawing level. Carlson now to add the extra point. Now we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
On the handoff, this is Falk. And he's got room. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 52 yards rushing for him in this first half as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs. On the give, here's Falk. They find some open field here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll run now with Falk. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now the 7-time Pro Bowler Marshall Falk. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Yeah, they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They'll try and run for it here with Falk. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now a carry for Falk. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Marshall Falk as the first half is winding down.
And the Eagles have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And the lead is now 21-14.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded right around the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is...
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Pulls it in at the 13. And a pretty poor return as he will dive to the ground to give himself up. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it is really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
He is going to find Hill here. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Here's Falk. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Room here to run. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Marshall Falk.
50 yards.
And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And the lead now up to 14.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. taken at the 15, a short kick. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! A.J. Dillon with his second touchdown of the night. And the Eagles have got it back to within a score. The PAT good. It would draw them closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field, and they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. The bouncer is taken inside the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Ready, set. Hey, drop it, drop it. Hit.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 171 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
A quick slant to Hill. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they find a way to convert on 4th and 10. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. One quarter remains in this NFC wild card match. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Lawrence to throw. And that
is incomplete.
Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. Flushed out right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are right back in this football game.
He'd been having a good day so far, but I think he got a little overzealous on that one. Still young in this league. Has to learn to try not to do too much on an individual play because, as we all know, sometimes less is more. And throwing away is preferable to making the big mistake.
They complete it to Hill. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Second and 7. Back to throw. Bledsoe. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Javon Hargrave forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Bledsoe. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Eagles have just about sewn up this football game. Well, Charles, I know you appreciate seeing this great defense, especially with the heightened intensity of the postseason. These two defenses, they have risen to the occasion to force back-to-back interceptions.
You know me well, Brandon. I always stand with my fellow defenders. And I love watching them make plays, and you nailed it. It's playoff time. This is when it matters most.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here we go. Go, faster.
Now a give inside for Falk. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them. I wouldn't worry about that very much at all. Just continue to do what they've been doing.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Look at me, Dipper. Hey, I'm 7. Hey, let's go. Hey.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. He'll let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And this defense will take over right at midfield. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
He's got room at the 30, and he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away changes what your play calls are going to be.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Dillon. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Carlson on for the PAT. And no sweat. He puts it through. And we are tied here in the fourth. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? What does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Here's Lawrence. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there.
So it's the Eagles who will get the first chance to go down and find a winner as they'll get it here, and we are back underway. Taken from about the 12. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And CD, we get to see the debut of the brand new postseason overtime rules. Now, as everybody is learning, both teams are going to be guaranteed an offensive possession. So they might get the ball first here, but a touchdown does not right away win the game.
And we saw many marker games along the way that sparked a lot of conversation. But the Buffalo-Kansas City game in the 2022 playoffs, that really brought about this rule change. What an amazing game, a true classic. Ended in overtime without Buffalo getting a shot with the football, and the people didn't like that at all. So starting this season, if you make the playoffs, you'll get a chance to answer if the other team scores first, and that way you get a chance to keep a great game as well as your hopes alive as you chase the big prize.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. Open man right side is Ingram. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. Fourth down. Here's Lawrence. Being chased out left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. The kick by Carlson is good. And the Eagles are going to win the football game. And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.